Hello and welcome to the Predator Eurotour Austrian Open. We're down to the final 32, single knockout stage. We have a match between Max Lechner and Sanjin Palivanovic. This is Eric Orlovson. I'm joined by Graham Hickman. Good to be here with you, Graham.
Thanks, Eric. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. I've seen a few of Max's matches already today, and he hasn't really been firing on all cylinders, so I didn't see who he beat in the last round to qualify, so I'm just going to check that in a moment. But I don't know if you've had the pleasure of watching Sanjin yet. Has he been playing well? I haven't seen him yet playing any matches.
Yeah, I saw him play in the first round. He was a pretty big favorite in his match, and he played well. He went ahead about 9-2 in that round. I mean, two of the top players in Europe going at it here. Getting down to the cream of the crop. 216 players started, down to 32 now. Single elimination stage. Race to 11, so a little longer race than the qualifying stages. Max has won the leg, and he's up to break first here. Two balls down, legal break. He's cut the left side of the one. Fair bit of traffic over on the right side of the table, and he can swing the cue ball around two rails towards the 2-9 here.
That's pretty good.
Shot. Yeah, it's taking away the jump. 3 balls too far to jump over. He has kick options off the short rail or the long rail. I think I'd favor the short rail, trying to play the 1 past the 9.
Yeah, I agree, Eric. I think that's the better shot. Be nice if you can get a pretty full hit on the 1. And like you say, send it down past the 9. Try to keep the cue ball where the 1 is. That would be objective. Oh, he's hit that all wrong. Left a wide open chance yet. 3 ball does go as well, so 1 to 2 is probably the key shot here, Eric. I think he's got a bit of angle on the 1, so he's going to have to move the white a little bit. Potentially, or he might drop this in, play the 2 in the corner. Depends what he prefers. Oh, he can actually hold for the middle even. Apologies, it's pretty straight. I thought you had a bit of angle there. He's found the gap there. Probably play this, run this forward. Go off the bottom short rail, I think, back up to the, in between the 4 and the 6. Try and leave an angle to come up table. Yeah, nicely judged. He's going to run this over a couple of rails, go forward. And that 9's in a pretty good spot. Can play it in the side. Probably just run this forward again off the rail. Take the 9 in the middle, I think.
Yeah, look for this to be an offensive match. Look for them to throw in some breaking runs here and there, and safe play to be at high quality, where it's going to take 1 or 2 safes at most to win the rack.
Yeah, it's an interesting call, Eric. Like I said, I had seen Max's few matches already, and I have to say his defense play was pretty okay, but offense-wise, he seemed to be making quite a few more mistakes than we're normally used to from Max's level. So it's interesting to see him, yeah, battling through there. And I did check he won his match in the qualification round against Thomas Kaplan, 9-6. So that was a pretty tough match as well. So he must have stepping up his game when it matters in the business end of the tournament, I think.
Yeah, I'd put Max at one of the most underrated players in the world. Like, doesn't really come up in that conversation of the top 15 or 20 players very often, but he's finished near the end of a lot of major tournaments. Evenly keeled on the table, you know, puts out his best effort every time out.
Yeah, it's a fair assessment. You know, we know he's been close a few times to winning a major. Runner-up in the 2022 US Open, I believe. The 9-ball. Second in the International Open. And even third in the World 8-ball Championships as well. So he's just been a little bit short, Eric, hasn't he? And I think he's well overdue a big win. He's far too good not to win something of big stature, I think.
Just made 2 balls in the same corner pocket on the first 2 breaks. Perfect on the one here. Ideally would like some angle going to the left. Looks like he has it. Doesn't really have to move the cue ball very much here.
Yeah, these balls are pretty wide open.
Yeah, he should be good here. It's got a little too much angle, so might have to move the cue ball around 3 rails, but lots of room off the 3rd rail. Both these players have a similar pre-shot routine. We haven't seen Sanjin shoot yet, but they kind of stand tall behind the line of the shot and then step into it. It's reminiscent of a kind of sight-right type aiming method.
Yeah, it's a good observation, Eric. I've heard some inside information. I think he's been doing a bit of extra coaching with a few people. I believe Alex Lely has been one of those people as well. So he has been doing a bit of a change in his game to try and, yeah, just improve and see if he can do a bit more damage. He's just such a steady player when he gets going. So good.
Yeah, just if you watch how he gets into the shot, he's into the shot the exact same every time. Calculated, making sure he knows the angle he wants on the 8 to get back for the 9.
Yeah, we have this new break format, Eric, don't we, with the 2 breaks for each player, alternate format. What's your thoughts on that 2 break format? I've got my 2 cents, but I'd love to hear what you think.
I think it's good. I mean, I've been kind of taking note that winning the leg is important because you'll have 4 of the first 6 breaks. So to get off to a good start in the match, I think the leg is a little more important than it would be in just a traditional alternate break format. You know, if I was a player in this format, I'd always be looking at spots where I'm going to get 4 of the next 6 breaks and be thinking that I'm going to win all of my breaks. Of course, reality is you're going to lose some of them. But, you know, just trying to work in stacks of 6 where I'm always thinking positive about having 4 of the 6, kind of.
Yeah, it's a good way to look at it. I think it definitely makes it interesting in terms of strategy, and of course everybody wants to win their breaks all of the time. That's the main objective, but as you say, it doesn't happen all the time. But if you can get more breaks, the odds are in your favor. You would like to think you would make a ball and have a chance to at least be in control of the rack. But we have 2 breaks coming from Sanjin, so it'll be interesting to see how he's been breaking.
Yeah, like in an alternate break format, if you were thinking positively, you'd think in stacks of 3. You know, you times when you have 2 of the 3 breaks and you're trying to break your opponent on the odd one that you don't have. But now I'm thinking in stacks of 6, kind of, just because it's doubled up. Good break there from Sanjin, making both wired balls. 2 balls sitting up over the corner. Looks like the 5 passes the 6 in the bottom left, so very inviting rack here.
Yeah, key shot's that 5, as you said, Eric. Just looking at it there, if that goes by, it changes the full dynamic of this rack, and judging by his body language, it does go. Otherwise, he would have been thinking of maybe another alternative. Tells me it goes.
Little straight here, going to be a little tougher to move the cue ball off the rail as much as he would like. There is an option to go forward, but I think you're doing a little too much with the cue ball at that point. Just hit a little more speed here, except that you're only going to get a foot or 2 off the rail.
Yeah, just taking a moment on this. It's a bit of a shot, this, Eric. You're right, he's got a funny angle and you can punch it forward, but that also can mean putting a bit of extra power into the jaws of the pocket, which we've seen can wobble. He might just want to take his medicine here and just play just off straight 5 ball maybe.
Yeah, he's looking at getting really straight on it. Really, a big part of this too is he wants to view the part of the pocket fully, like kind of being straight on the 5 is better than having any kind of angle. Wow, he was really straight. Hit the wrong part of the pocket probably. And this is missable now.
Yeah, I think he wanted to be off the rail, Eric, didn't he? So he could just jack up a little bit and kind of try to punch it in and maybe hold the cue ball, but now he's going to have to go forward. Do you think he's going to run into the 6 or will he slip by it?
It's close. If he does run into it, I feel like he's pushing it in a positive way towards the same pocket. Nice.
Yeah, good call. It's a good shot that under pressure from a distance on the rail. It's worked out pretty nice. Just what he needed.
So, good reply from Sanjin here in rack number 3, and he'll be looking to hold serve again in rack number 4. Now, as I was talking about having 4 of the first 6 breaks, I think that matters more in a race to 9 than it does in a race to 11. Things will even out over the longer race.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's a good call. I think it's 11 just gives it that extra bit of time for players to come back, or for the swing and momentum for sure. But for those just joining us, we do have a few other rules that are in play in this event. It is a 3-point rule from the break, meaning each player when they break does need to make 3 points. And how you make a point is by either pocketing a ball or getting a ball above the head string, the break line where he's breaking from now. That will also be a point. Just see from his break here, makes a ball in the corner and 2 balls go past the head string, so that's perfectly fine. And we do have a shot clock in operation as well, which is 60 seconds from the break and normally 35 seconds on a regular shot with a 1 extension per player should they need to use it. I think the shot clock's been pretty okay, and the matches I've seen, Eric, hasn't been any time fouls. It's normally been pretty okay, but I might have been fortunate with some faster players. But I do like having the shot clock in order.
Yeah, usually playing 9-ball, the shots are a little more straightforward. 8-ball being the game that shot clock would be in danger the most, 10-ball second most. Nice shot there from Sanjin. Distance came into the angle nicely.
That was the pace. It's pretty good, especially with the 4-ball being very close to that corner pocket. Makes work a little bit easier. This is another great chance for Sanjin here.
Could have done without brushing the 5 there, but it's still available into the bottom right.
Yeah, that'll work. Even if he's straight, which he's pretty much straight there, you can just either punch this through a little bit, take a little bit of a cut on the 7. Even bumping the 9 works as well, so steady stuff this, Eric. A good reply from being 2-0 down. Just what you need, a couple of breaking runs. So that's the way to go about your work.
Yeah, 3 of the first 4 games on break-in runs. And Max keeping control of the first game, just not getting a shot on the 1, so perfect pool so far. Watch, I was just going to talk about the pre-shot routine. Whenever they get a tougher shot, just take note of how they're actually lining up to the ball. It's kind of stand on the shot line, more in the middle. You won't see it as much here because it's an easier shot. But stand on the shot line more in the middle, cue across the body, and then step over onto the line of the shot. Seems like a kind of a new school way that is getting more popularity.
Yeah, I think it's
rare though that sorry, Graham. I'll just say one more thing. It's rare though that you see 2 players with the exact same pre-shot routine, and it looks like they're almost hitting the ball the same. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was literally, you took the words. I was just saying they're both doing similar things, but you mentioned before the sight right coaching, and that's becoming quite common across a few different cue sport disciplines. You hear about it in other games, but some of the players even just setting himself up for break. It looks like they've both maybe had exposure or having time doing that, because it's an obvious pre-shot routine. It's a good break again. Is he going to get a shot on this 3-ball? He is.
It's okay. I think he can draw enough out of it to get to the left of the side pocket. Maybe a little too much angle, so might be forced to do something a little creative here.
I wonder if he could hold it below the center pocket, Eric, maybe, and take a bit of a longer for, unless he has to go, unless he wants to go all around the world. He could just hold it below the center pocket, maybe, as an option.
Yeah, he's definitely considering that. Maybe considering playing to the same spot with the cue ball, but powering it over to the left side of the table. The 8 kind of becomes a big ball in that case, though.
Yeah, also, the more power you put in, the more things can go wrong.
Did decide to go to cross, and Yeah, hit it perfectly. Unlucky to end up on the rail here. And he's actually on a bit of a funny angle where the cue ball's running into the 5.
Yeah, depending how he's bumping the 5, it could work in his favour, but it's hard to tell. He's jacking up a little bit, so maybe he's trying to punch past it for the 5 in the left side, left top corner. Yeah. Good effort, good shot.
Gonna need some left spin here, but easy enough on the pocketing. He should be okay. So both players holding their break very well here, hitting the break well, getting rewarded with shots.
Yeah, they're both looking good, and I have to say, I said it before, but I've watched Max a little bit over these days, and it's the best I've seen him in terms of how solid he's been. Another great shot there. Connecting the 7, 8 and 9 is quite nice. Just bump this, come up a little bit, yeah, just so he's got a better angle to get on the 9, but like you said, Eric, this has been top quality stuff so far.
Just
good stuff.
At some of our, 5 of 6 break-in runs now. Just having a look at some of our other final 32 matches. Emil Ganflode and Felix Vogel, 2 young players facing off in the first round. Defending champion Mohamed Soufi against Gialarakis from Greece. Snagotsky and Heibler. Ralph's okay, still in the tournament.
Yeah, Kaiser battling strong. Watched him earlier. He didn't play so well in the match I watched him on, but followed his results. He came through the loser side pretty strong. And on the other table, the other live stream table, Fortunsky, Matteo Fortunsky is 5-0 up now against Nicolas Dorf from Germany. So he's on a flyer there on the other stream table right now. But back to this break from Max. No shot this time. Good solid break, but no reward.
See if he has any piece of the 2 through the 8-9. Didn't appear so at first, but it's possible. Does he even have the pocketing angle, Graham? It's possible.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe it's a little bit deceptive there. Looked like he didn't have a shot, but if he does, he's got a great chance to go a couple of rails here. Wow. He thought he did.
Yeah, kind of odd. I mean, it's one thing if you only have the thin side of it to miss it by very little, but he missed that by a lot. Might have been trying to play a small swerve, but that would have been really aggressive. So a little break here for Sanjin. Nice angle, very little cue ball movement in the next 4 shots. 8's playing close to the 9.
Yeah, this is a good layout. No real dramas here. With all the balls, like you say, being pretty close proximity. It's just connecting the dots really. Doesn't want to do anything crazy. Keep it simple.
First game of the match to be won against the opponent's break. So even though Sanjin is, or the scoreline will be tied, he can give it the smallest edge to Sanjin, having the next 2 breaks.
Yeah, both these players are very deliberate. There you see the pre-shot routine. Yeah, it's almost identical. I think the only difference I would say, Eric, is Sanjin kind of has his legs apart, whereas Max has both feet together. That's the only difference. Like, if you notice next time,
Yeah.
small thing, but it's the only difference that I noticed.
Players from the loser's side of the bracket were drawn into players from the winner's side of the bracket. Sanjin came through on the winner's side. Max came through on the loser's side.
Yeah, I think we're always going to run into a few big draws now we get down to this single elimination stage, Eric. There's always a few upsets along the way, and this is the business end, so I think every draw you get now is pretty much going to be tough games either way.
Yeah, even in the last loser's qualification match, we had Conrad Jashishin against Albin Ocean, 2 of the favorites in the tournament. Both were on the loser's side, but just a test of the overall strength of the field. 2 real top players not getting through, either of them on the winner's side.
Yeah, it's a full field as well. 216 players, I think, in total, all chasing that first prize, €6,000, 50,000 prize fund. Obviously, the title makes a couple of balls. Bit of a double kiss there on the cue ball. I think Eric kept it down the table. It was drifting a little bit up, but no shot. I think maybe hooked on the 2. I'm not sure.
Yeah, just got jammed in the right long rail. Left long rail. Don't think he has the right side of the 2 here. Just gonna push for distance. No blockers at the same end of the table as the 2, so there's gonna have to be some cue ball movement if safe is executed properly. Can go off the left side and try to use the 5-8 as blockers. That's tough though. I don't mind giving it back if that's the only shot he sees.
Yeah, I was just thinking you can go either side, but the left side does feel more favourable. You might push the 2 a little bit towards the pocket, but there's more balls to hide behind. Always went for the kick off the back. There was enough room. That's a great shot.
Smart shot.
Very well executed. Asking the ref to keep an eye on this one just in case, but I can't imagine him getting anywhere near the other ball, but you never know.
Ideally coming 2 rails behind it, hitting the 2 squarely and pushing it near the 4. A little thin, but he's created distance. Cue ball's going to come off the short rail, though. Chance now for Lechner to get that break back.
Yeah, it was a tough kick, that one. I think Sanjin was a bit disappointed that he didn't get behind the 2, but wasn't so straightforward. It was a pretty good safety.
Ideally wanted angle going to the right here. Might still be able to develop it with a bunch of right spin. If he feels like he can't, he'll come back out to the middle. Play the 5 in the top right corner. Good shot. 6 connects to the 7 in the side. Just trying to get straight enough on the 6 here where he can hold along the left long rail. Oh, he's looking for more angle. He's going to go 3 rails around, I guess. Yeah, I like the straighter one. He thought about the straighter 1 second. On second thought.
Yeah, I think he's just going to keep it simple and doesn't want to be totally on the rail, so it's just enough. You can just bump this off the rail. Doesn't want to be, definitely wants to make sure he's not going wrong angle below the 9, so it's important that he make sure if he does play in the side that he keeps the angle going up towards the 8.
Hot on the rail a little bit, but he's straight enough to get through to the left of the 9.
Yeah, I think he's going the other way though. Is he not going below the 9, or is he going into the 9 here? Maybe if he just flicks it, might not be too bad. Or he could just drift past it. He just missed it. Yeah. Bit of a careless one, that one. I felt just he wanted to be a bit more angle on the 6, Eric, to be off the rail, and I think he tried to pinch a little bit to avoid going in the 9 ball, you think there. That's why he probably pushed it.
Definitely was why he missed. Sanchin's got to go to the short rail here, elevate with speed.
Bit of a swing in this match already, this rack, Eric, because to be honest, I think Max looked in very good control. Even though the score was close, I just felt he had a bit of an edge. But all of a sudden, that 7 ball is going to be punished.
Yeah, and Sanchin's been breaking well too, so decent threat to go up 2 games here.
Be interesting, Eric, to see if Max takes a timeout in the next rack or so. The reason I say that is the 3 matches, or 2 or 3 matches that I watched, he seemed to take a timeout pretty much the same time each match that he played. It was around about the next rack or so. So
About
we're curious
8
to know.
games in, yeah.
Yeah, well, it was 6 games in, race to 9, so I'm wondering if he might just drag it a little bit more for the race to 11. I'll be curious to see if it's part of his strategy, because he did seem to do it. Maybe it's pure coincidence, but you never know. Tim made a good point. He thought maybe it could be, obviously this is Sanjin's final break of his 2 breaks. If he takes a timeout and then he comes back and break and runs both of his racks, your opponent could be sitting in the chair for maybe 15 minutes or so without having a shot. I just thought it was an interesting viewpoint from Tim.
And I think, he brought that up with me too, and I think it's particularly useful if your opponent breaks and runs the first rack. It's just kind of like a momentum stopper. He's wide open here again, Graham.
Yeah, it's another good break, isn't it, Eric? I mean, that's the kind of spread you want. All the balls pretty much wide open. A couple of connecting balls. Still needs one more good shot here.
Yeah, he's fallen a little short. I saw an interview with Josh Filler, and he was saying there was a bit of humidity in the arena that'll always kind of lead to underdrawing and falling short on the angle. Cloth gets a little wet, gets a little heavier.
Yeah, we talked about that as well. I think it's just one of those situations where you come into the summer tournaments and the conditions just change a little bit from maybe the springtime temperature, everything above.
Well, the world is heating up. It's getting more humid. Even where I'm from in Toronto, it really affects pool room play. It's not even anything to do with the venue. It's just so humid outside that air conditioning can't overpower it.
Yeah, it just takes a little bit of getting used to adjusting your game or your style a little bit. Feels a bit unnatural, hence why you see a few under hits, over hits. Positional shot seems to be a little bit more struggling at times. But to be fair, it hasn't really impacted either of these players so far, at least not that we've seen, I don't think. They've been pretty much steady away.
Oh yeah, they'll know how to adjust. But just as far as getting perfect in certain spots, like even with the cue ball sticking closer to the rail when Max was playing from the 6 to the 7, that can be a culprit. Humidity can be a culprit on a shot like that.
Yeah, so let's see if my fortune telling is correct, or is it just pure coincidence? If Sanjin puts this 9, will Max take a short time out? Yeah, nice break and run again. Well, Cue on the table, setting the balls up. He's not going anywhere.
Only one illegal break so far. Both players hitting it with good power and catching the proper cut angle. Max has jammed a couple balls in the corner pocket a couple times. Just coincidental, mainly going for the 5 in the corner.
Yeah, I feel like both players seem to have found a bit of a break. That's okay. He made a ball and got a couple of balls past the head string. Does the one go in the corner? I think it does.
Yeah, if it does, he's on a pretty good out here. Yeah, he's fine there. Just got to avoid the 3 coming across table for the 2 here.
Yeah, he could even take the 1 in either corner, couldn't he, depending on his preference. Whatever he feels most comfortable. Yeah, he's playing the cutback.
Yeah, just avoiding the 3.
He's in pretty good shape here. Just had a quick look at the scores there as well, Eric. Just while he was queuing up there, an interesting score going on Another table on the outside there. Joshua Filler against Ugu Turku from Germany as well. He's 8-3 up against Joshua. Looks like he's absolutely flying there. So, yeah, Joshua winning the first 2 Eurotours of the year. Was going for 3 in a row. He's got a bit of a battle on there.
Yeah, that's a major surprise. And Filler played very well in his last match too. So his opponent must be in fine top form.
Yeah, just thought I would share that. I've seen that in the corner of my eye. It's quite a big result so far. But back to this match, and again, we're looking like another break and run here. This is pretty good standard.
Yeah, I think we're on 6 of 8 break-in runs now.
If you notice both his feet together, slight different variation, but I do think it's the same desired result. They might just be doing their own way.
Yeah, so the typical sight right approach is that you aim off the middle of your body and then you step over onto the line of the shot. I think he's playing with both feet and his back foot right on the line, but it's still a similar idea where you're just kind of viewing the shot still, just viewing the line of the shot. Cue across the body, yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. Maybe if any of the people in the chat, all those watching, appreciate you supporting and being here with us during this awesome match. If anybody does know if Max or Sanjin, just out of curiosity, is doing any sight right or additional coaching, let us know. I've heard some sound bites, but it'd be good to know if anybody knows for sure. But yeah, another break and run, and you'd love to go and get another one straight away, back to back, just what you would need.
Perfectly hit. 7 looks like it could get in the way of the 2, but he's okay.
Yeah, it's another great break, isn't it? It's funny how the game can play so different. Every rack, every break is different in every match, and the match that I did Max just a short while ago, I think he broke. He was playing Stefan Kaspers, and every single break he didn't see the object ball. He was either hooked or something for every single break in the full match, which he lost. But in this one it's very different. Just goes to show how crazy the game of 9-ball is, Eric. It's different all the time. So good to watch.
Well, and the difference in 9-ball too is that if you're usually almost always going to make a ball, but there's a lot of times where you make multiple balls, and now you're only left with 7. So really getting on the first ball is a big factor in running the whole rack.
Big shot here. I'm going to try come back across the table. Maybe he's just wondering, does he punch it above the 8 or does he go below the 8? If he goes below the 8, kind of bringing that middle pocket into a little bit of play. He doesn't want to be too far away, so he's going to go above it. He's played that pretty well, to be honest. Very good shot.
Yeah, nicely played. Getting real close to the 8, getting as close to the 6 as he could. Just straight enough that he can hold up the right side of the table here.
I've seen a few of these shots get away from the player. Even played that a little bit thinner, but he's cued that well. Bit straight on the 7 maybe, Eric. Do you think you'll draw back down or come past the black for the in the side maybe? I'm not sure if he can punch it over.
Yeah, bunch of options here, but I like the one he's taking. A little bit less speed involved here. Just try to get good on the 8.
Yeah, he had a little bit of angle, so he could top it through. It's not too bad. Let's just come off the short rail and back up for the 9 in the probably the bottom left here, unless he goes the other side. But I think he's going 1 rail. Oh, he's going even 2. It's a bit short. Is he okay? Bit in between. I think a bit harder. He would have been closer to the rail. I thought you might have just played the 1 rail and just kind of checked it back up, but should be fine.
Nice play and another break and run. Breaks back over to Sanjin now. Back over to reply.
Yeah, not much in this match at all. But the gap is extending in Joshua Filler's match. He's now 9-3 down. So big one there. Fortunsky on the other table is 7-2 in front. That's Nicolas Dor. Any other big ones up there? Luca Men from Germany, 7-2 in front against David Zalman. Felix Vogel and Gangflut that you mentioned earlier. Eric 6-3 to Felix Vogel. Oliver Solnocki 6-2 up against Kasper Matakainen, recently European champion. So some good games going on there. But not much in this one. Just plenty of break and runs.
Again,
Another
real
good
strong break and dead in on the 2.
Yeah.
More offense coming here.
Yeah, if this continues in this kind of way, tell you what, you can see this one going very close at the end. Nothing much to do with the 2 and the 3. Awesome break.
Still going to favor the side here. He has a natural angle going towards the corner. Just sees the value in taking the easy pocketing on the 5 in the side. 3's easy enough. Can manipulate the cue ball here.
Yeah, I think given where the 6 is, like you say, he could have played either in the top pocket or the side. There's so much table space here. Just come off 1 rail. Bump it back out, yeah. Somewhere around there. 7's pretty close to the corner pocket, but he does need to make sure he's on the right side of the table to have an easier shot on the 7. So this is still important. He has good angle on the 6. He looks a bit off angle here, Eric, maybe. Or is it just me?
Yeah, slightest angle going to the right. It would be ideal if he can fall through it enough, missing the 9 to the right and just play up table closer to the 7.
Yeah, he's drawing it, so maybe he can't go forwards.
Into the short side even of the 7.
He's going long rail and across. Yeah, that's pretty good. Not sure if he can reach this one. With his extension maybe, or can you get it from the other side?
Yeah, he's right-handed. It's on the proper side of the table to reach here.
He's just stretching.
So more break and run play, and Sanjin will be looking for another one to open up a 2-game lead again.
mean, this is just great stuff, isn't it? It's just got to sit and admire these breaking runs. There's no crazy stuff happening. Don't need to open any balls, go for any wild shots at the moment. It's all just solid breaks and nice runouts. Textbook 9-ball play.
Looks like Max is considering his break now. And there's the... Oh, it looked like he was taking his glove off. Just readjusting it. It's going to stay in the arena. No, there he goes. It definitely is strategical, like we were saying. And nothing wrong with it. I mean, both players are allowed to do the same thing. And totally within the rules. But yeah, just trying to break the momentum of a player that's on a break and run sequence, maybe.
Yeah, maybe it's a halfway through kind of, I don't know, mid-match break. He's been trying to incorporate, like I say, in the other matches he did take a break, and all those matches around about 3-3, 4-3-ish. So it was kind of maybe midway. Maybe that's what he was thinking. Or maybe we're just guessing here, but as you said, everyone's entitled to a break, and maybe he just likes to break the match up. I guess the only person who knows, Eric, is Max. Let's see if that's that's his strategy. Yeah, I guess
Women's event got underway today. Go ahead, Graham.
I was just going to say, if the players are taking a short break, we could just take a couple of moments ourselves and rejoin when they come back to break.
Okay, we'll be back soon. Both players back in the arena now, getting ready to get rack number 12 underway. It's been a highly offensive match so far. 8 of the 11 games coming by the way of the break and run. Sanjin broken ran in the first of his 2 breaks here, looking for another. And this is our first illegal break of the match, looks like. Unless he made 3, I don't think he did. Yeah, he only made 2.
Maybe that timeout worked, Eric. Broke his rhythm a little bit. Who knows?
I think I think Sanjin didn't even realize that he was illegal there, but it for sure was. Might have to go to a replay here.
Yeah, they can check that. I think you're right though. I don't think the ball's pass. I think he was thinking, did the ball go up and down? I don't think it did.
It's just kind of surprising when you hit the rack so hard and you come up illegal. But yeah, we'll get a replay here. Nothing passed. 8 bumped into the 4 oddly. Took energy out of both those balls and nothing else got up there. It's going to be a tough opener for Max. I think the 3's over on the right side of the table. Play will be to draw above it. Shooting in the opposite corner pocket. That's the 7 over there actually, so it'll be onto the 4 here. Kind of natural draw position. Let's put it all in on the pocketing here. First missed ball, second missed ball. Max missed 7 earlier. But he's got away with it, Graham.
Yeah, and I'm kind of wondering, you know, did that kind of little bit of a checking of the rack, and was it legal, was it not, just throw also Max a little bit out of sync, and I don't know, we always look for reasons as to why something was missed. Maybe it was just a tough shot. That's a good kick in though.
Yeah, no, it's not a coincidence, for sure. Doesn't look like the 4 passes the 7. It is available on the side. Gonna be a lot of cue ball movement if he decides to play it in the side. I think he has to. Just need another angle here. Just want to confirm that the 4 doesn't pass the 7. Sure looks like it doesn't.
Yeah, looks tight. I mean, probably just chop this into the side, I think. Cue ball will be travelling. I don't think it's going near the corner, but looks like he's digging down. So maybe he's trying to avoid something. 3 rails maybe. Spinning it round.
Nice shot.
Yeah, that's a great shot.
Perfect result with the cue ball. And looking good now to take his first 2-game lead of the match. It'll be back to Max for the next 2 breaks. But once you start opening up a lead like this, the pressure starts mounting to kind of hold both your breaks. For example, if they split the next 2, then it'll be back to Sanjin with the next 2 after that, so the lead can get increasingly bigger in this spot.
Yeah, definitely, especially how much they've been breaking and running as well. And I mean, yeah, do we expect both players to have flawless pool for all of the first to 11 racks? Yeah, so there's got to be some drama at some point. So, but still, they're both playing solid and breaking well. So any kind of gap is going to be helpful.
Almost overdrew that one, and it made him come too far on the 9. Still is makeable in the corner. Having a quick look in the side, but he's going to go corner here. It's thin of a scratch. Just have to judge this blind pocketing angle. Shot.
Yeah, that's a good 9.
Played it in confidently. Didn't give any chance for cut-induced throw there.
No, I think it was a bit of a natural angle not to scratch, so he kind of could afford to play it with a little bit of pace. Yeah, a bit of a surprise and miss there, but it was a good kick. And then run out from Sanjin there. These breaks now, super important. Wow, quick result there, just to tell you that Joshua Filler did indeed lose 11-5 to fellow countryman Turku. Incredible result. What a great win for him.
Crush the break. And straight in on the 2. 3's right there. No need for cue ball movement on the first shot. Great start for Max here.
Yeah, these breaks are really opening up nice, aren't they? Credit to the players. When you seem to find a spot to make a ball, you still always have a little bit of luck to try and get a shot on that lowest ball. But it's great when it does work.
Seven doesn't pass the 9 here. Combo's a little off angle. He's gonna have to think about what angles he, kind of coming underneath it there, on top of the 6, and then 1 rail back to that position. Could work. Smart play as well. Just move it out of that area. It's available on the side now. Yeah.
Just need to make sure he has a good angle on the 6. Going down table. Doesn't want to be perfectly straight. He might even elect to move, just roll this forward maybe. He could punch it, pull it back, and have an angle the other way. Depends on his preference. Got options here. He can either go top spin, go off the short rail and back down, or he could punch this off 2 rails, Eric, and run around. Depends what he feels, maybe.
Yeah, he's just in between angles. A little more angle, he'd be going 3 rails for sure, but I think he might favor 1 here, just because it takes a little too much speed to punch out of the angle, 2 rails. Come too far, but the following angle is playing pretty good. Bit of left spin, come back over to the left side of the table. Nicely played.
Take a bit of distance on this 9, I think. I don't think you'll go crazy with this one. Maybe just roll it through.
Yeah, you want to keep the speed down here. Yeah, just cue the ball low, keep the speed down. So Lechner replying with his first break and run in his set of 2 breaks. Looking to level the score by the time he's done on the next one.
nicely done. I think the big shot there was that 7 ball that he just creatively just bumped it out a little bit, Eric, just into the, give him an option into the side. Just made all the difference.
Yeah, and whenever you're running into a ball like that purposely, you have to judge what part of the ball you're running into, because there's always a risk of getting behind it. He played it perfectly. Both players breaking from the same spot, getting similar results. Big spread on the rack, making multiple balls on most breaks.
Yeah, one straight on the side. And again, it's going to dress up nice, Eric. Look at this. Incredible.
Gonna have to see if the 6 passes the 8 here. I believe it does. Oh, maybe not.
Yeah,
No,
I
he
think it
has enough room. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it looks good. But again, another great break. And another chance for another break and run. It's incredible how many wide open tables they've had with no real clusters or any kind of major development balls or big problems. It's all been pretty wide open.
Nice angle here to continue on forward and leave an angle on the 6 with the cue ball coming off the left long rail. Slightest bit straight, so just has to land the cue ball in a bit of a smaller area, closer to the 6. I got a little straight here, Graham. It can power up and draw all the way back to the short rail, but it looks like the cue ball is playing slightly to the left. And in that case, you're going to start flirting with the corner coming all the way back to the short rail, so it looks like he's just going to accept the tougher shot on the 7 here.
Yeah, I did like your deep draw shot though, Eric, because he was quite close to the 6. He could have quite generated a good bit of pace there, and there was so much table to play into. I'm not saying this is not potable, but just a little bit more tricky. But it's a natural angle to come across for the 8 ball, so smart play really. Take what the tables give him.
Yeah, it just speaks to his confidence in his pocketing. Players that would be less confident in their pocketing would probably play the tougher position there, but knows that he's still very high 90s% to make that ball.
In between, also got a bit of good pace. Just okay, yeah.
So looks like Max is going to reply with 2 break-in runs. And serve back to Sanjin. We don't have an exact count going, but I think that's about 11 out of 14 break-in runs, Graham. What a performance here by both players.
Yeah, this is very high standard. Top quality stuff. I mean, the breaks are obviously working. It's nice to see them both playing super well. Sometimes you can have a one-sided match where someone's just running away with it, but it's like a boxing match, toe-to-toe, punch for punch. No more than 2 racks between them. Sanjin hoping to do the same again. I mean, was it ever in doubt to not put a ball in beyond the 2?
Almost laughable at this point, but looks like a bit of a tougher rack here.
Yeah, that 4 ball came up the table, Eric, but I think it still goes as well. Looks it's a little bit messy, but it's not too bad.
If he gets on the angle he's on now, the 5/8, yeah, the 5/8's going to play pretty big running back to the 4. He could play all the way around it, 2 or 3 rails.
Yeah, this is a bit of an issue. He's got to try to find the right angle. Like you say, I wonder if he can go under the 6. If he lands low enough on the 3. Sorry, under the 5 maybe, and just... Yeah, can he have an angle to go below the 5 and 8?
He does.
Maybe.
I don't see anything 1 rail, so I think he is going to go around that 2 or 3 rail track.
I mean, can you not like draw it maybe and pinch it and come in between maybe?
Just avoid the 5 on the left side, yeah.
He's playing it with left-hand spin, so he's trying to find the gap.
Nice shot.
What a shot he's played, yeah. Wow.
Yeah, he couldn't really get wide enough. Yeah, around the safe side of the 7, so played that small area between the 5 in the corner pocket, and 4 in the corner pocket, did it perfectly. Nice angle here on the 5 to come out for the 6.
Just come around the black for the center table. I mean, it really is quite impressive how many open shots both players have had. Of course, they still need to run the rack out, but there's going to be a lot of pressure in the final segment of this match as we're moving closer over these next 2, 3, 4 breaks and see how it really unfolds.
Nice angle here to come 1 rail off the short rail. Just get straight on the 8'll do.
I think I have to say, Eric, I've commentated on quite a few Eurotour matches, and I don't think I recall as many breaking runs, if I'm honest. You occasionally see 4, 5, something like this, but this is just remarkable.
Yeah, we're on close to 80% here combined from both players. Nine ball down. Let's see if we can keep the streak going.
Yeah, I'm just thinking as well, when Max took his time out earlier, did Sanjin also do the same? They both left the arena, didn't they, Eric, I think?
Yeah, so does that count as a timeout for Sanjin too if he leaves the arena at the same time? Not sure
Yeah, I think if
exactly
he
sure on the
would
stipulations
have had to
there.
put it on the, yeah, he would have had to put it on the device that he had a timeout as well. Just thinking if
Okay.
it does go very close, no one's got a timeout left.
Three balls down immediately. And he's on the one.
And the
More of the
two's over
same
side.
here.
It's absolutely insane. It's one of those ones, Eric, where, you know, we go all the way to Hill, all these break and runs, and then you just know the final one will be a dry break, don't you? Something crazy to make it drama.
Yeah. It's not going to be able to fall this ball. He's got a kind of soft draw between the 5-9.
Yeah, but it was a nice
Spinning
angle,
out
wasn't
a
it?
little bit. Yeah. Worst thing here is if he's exactly straight, he does have enough angle that he can force the two into the side and come across.
Yeah, it does look like he's a little bit to the left, so he can probably play this with top left spin. Just drift that cue ball. Yeah, there you see it. Over to the left side of the table.
Few options towards the 7 here, but it's nice and in the middle of the table. Really pick out 3 or 4 pockets, mainly on the top end.
Yeah, he's got a few options here. Just depends how he's feeling. Play the 7 in a couple of pockets. I'll go around for the side. See how he's hit this a bit too hard, maybe. Just let that get away a little bit. Just puts a bit more pressure on this.
Harder.
Granted, the 8 ball's over the corner, but
A lot more angle than he would have liked here. Positive thing is the cue ball's playing to the right of the 9. Just play it with natural contact on the cue ball, high on the cue ball.
yeah, it's probably the first real positional shot that he's been out a little bit. They've been bang on most of the time. I'm not saying this is missable, but he's just been playing so solid. Quick tying his lace.
Well, we're going to keep, if he gets these last 2 down, we're going to keep the count at 13 of 16 break-in runs. There's a crazy high standard in this match.
Yeah, and it's like deja vu, Eric. Sanjin going 2 ahead. And then Max coming back with the same. It's going to build at some point the pressure, because with Sanjin having the lead and the first breaks, it does mean puts a not sure what's going on. I was just saying with the pressure, it's going to build on Max. Obviously he's the one chasing. He needs to continue this break and run process.
Yeah, really has to hold his 2 breaks here. The way Sanjin's been breaking. Even if he goes back with 1 of 2 chances to get to finish the match out, you would expect him to do it. But of course, the variable that we've, had that just hasn't come up is that they're always getting shots. Not guaranteed to get a shot. I mean, they're hitting the break very well, making 2 and 3 balls is more likely. Just haven't seen those breaks where it involves any kind of safe play.
Yeah, Sanjin will be praying for a chance. 2 balls in, chance on the 1. Yeah, I think he can make it.
He's on it. Yeah.
1 or 2 is tough.
Yeah, a lot of power here to come across table and back over to the right side for the 2. It is possible to stun the cue ball in front of the 7. The cue ball will be coming back towards the right middle. He's actually had 2 or 3 looks at this. It might be closer than it seems on the overhead.
Yeah, and if you remember,
pocketing angle now.
The 1 ball that does stand out, Eric, that he missed, if you remember that cutback, similar kind of shot. Of course, it was a bit more distance. I'm not saying that this is missable, but he did miss a similar shot like this from a further distance with a bit of power.
Overcut it
Sorry,
same
Max.
way.
I think that's my fault.
Got lucky to not go. Yeah, got lucky to not go in the side there with the cue ball, and I don't think he's left anything. But there will be a safe opportunity for Pelovanovic here. Oh, he is.
Yeah, he was on that too.
Just on.
I think this is cuttable,
Yeah, it is.
He could come around the back for the bottom side of the 2, potentially. There might be a path there, if he can find it. If he wants to take it on, that is. Sanjin would love to get one of these 2 breaks from Max. Oh, he's not even taking it on. Trying to keep it tight. Looks pretty good.
Looks pretty good.
It's the first safety shot in a long time that I can remember. Maybe from one of the early racks.
It's been about 5 or 6 games, I think. He's left the thinnest right edge here. Has to swerve at it. Thing with this spin is it's going to kill the cue ball as far as going up table. Oh, he caught a double kiss, gave the cue ball a little more energy. But he's left it over the corner. He's left the proper side of the cue ball here, the side that Sanjin wants to spin with. But the 4, 7, and 8 are all playing big going back into the 2. And try to come underneath them here.
If you can catch more of the centre ball, you might be able to slide it above and have a bit of a longer 2. Oh, you called it. Ooh, no. Might have to play if he wants to push the boat out. Could try a kick shot down the rail, see if he can put this in, but position's not going to be coming his way, I don't think. Unless you can kick it in and the cue ball drifts out to the left side of the table. Do you think that's on, Eric? I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's just hard to tell how much swerve he has, how much he has to swerve it. If he doesn't have to swerve it much, it's actually pretty makeable. 2's in a favorable position near the rail. It's not elevating, so this one could go. No, too thick. So Sanjin finally having a chance to put 3 games between them, but had a tough position there from the 1 to the 2. It's left Max good here.
Yeah, I think Sanjin will be a little bit frustrated there. I know he wasn't an easy chance, but I think he sensed there was a bit of a window there for him to get on the hill. But wasn't meant to be. I guess it wouldn't be a Eurotour without a little bit of last game drama. Late into the night, there's always one game.
Most natural path is kind of running into the 8. He'll want to avoid that, so he'll probably stun the ball out 2 rails here. So Lechner with a small escape here after the miss on the 1.
Yeah, he'd be very pleased to come back to the table after leaving that 1 ball over the top corner. He probably expected Sanjin to at least get on the 2 and have a good chance at running out. Be more than happy to come back and pick up the pieces. And it looks like this 8 and 9 will get him back within 1 rack. He has 1 more break, Eric. And boy, would he love another break and run.
Take a look at some of the other matches in progress here. Sufi up 8-6 over Gielarakis. Bogo's defeated Gongfloat. Alexa Pichel 11. Simon Corral 3.
Oh, what a break.
Here it is. Carbon copy. 2-ball laying up over the corner.
I think he might have a bit of an angle on the 2 as well to come back down for that 3. Just at a quick glance when it was rolling. Yeah, there you see, it's going to be a thinnish one, but just give him a bit of momentum to come back down table.
Yeah, looks like he's going to try to avoid running into anything and just stay up the right side of the table. Only ball that can get him here is the 6.
Yeah, I like this shot. There's always a tendency, Eric, to overrun this, isn't there? Just because of that 6 ball in your mind. Go a bit too heavy with it.
Doesn't want to catch the point. Gets past it. Speed's pretty much perfect. Nice shot.
Yeah, it was very well judged. Even if he's perfectly straight, he still has a few options. He might even be able to run 2 reels maybe for the 4 on the side. If not, he can play it in the top. Unless he's perfectly straight.
Yeah, he's pretty straight. If anything, I think he has the smallest angle going to the right. He'll just let the cue ball float over a bit.
Yeah, could force it 2 reels.
2 rails. Little in between here, but he's gonna. Yeah, I think he'll go to the side and draw the cue ball to the left. Anytime you have to play the ball, yeah. Anytime you have to play the ball on the side with speed, you got to be careful. Nicely played.
Yeah, that's great
so
stuff.
All chances to get 9-all now.
Yeah, I have to say that 2-ball to 3-ball was a great shot. Really was. Made it look a lot easier than it was to play. Good 4-ball. Now he's got himself in prime position. Probably play this 6-ball off 2 rails, I reckon. Just drift up past the middle pocket.
I like that. Ended up a little further from the 7 than ideal. Might back off spinning this ball just because of the distance, but he is okay playing 1 rail back to near where the cue ball is now.
Yeah, I think you could even just play with a little bit of bottom and just let the slide take it.
Good shot.
Yeah, confidently played. I mean, this has been a great run out to be fair. Very well done. Max is basically telling Sanjin, I'm not going anywhere. But Sanjin will have 2 breaks to try and win the match on his own serve here. If he can, he'd love to get a couple of breaking runs and just not let Max have a look at the table. But we all know how the pool gods work, Eric.
Yeah, the way things have been going, it's possible. It's possible that he could lock him out on a really inordinate amount of breaking runs. I think we're on 14 of 18 now.
Yeah, I just think this has got 10-10 written all over it. If anything, it probably deserves it, given they've both been toe-to-toe for this full match. Of course, not saying Sanjin couldn't run the match out, but just got a feeling it's going 10-10. What a surprise.
There again.
Balls down. Nice easy shot on the 1, 2. Also wide in the open. Incredible. Just never seen anything like it in terms of shot on the lowest ball.
He's got an angle going, a little too much angle going to the right here, so he's going to have to draw over to the right long rail. 7's kind of blocking his most desirable path to the 2. Could play it with enough power to just cross right over near the left long rail. Nice shot. He's in good now, Graham.
Yeah, this is just fantastic to watch. Hopefully everybody's on the stream who stayed with us from the beginning of this match and has enjoyed it as much as we have. It's just been incredible in terms of performance and level.
He's got a small angle going to the left here, and that'll serve him well. Straighter than he would have liked. 9 ball's kind of playing in the way of using the right long rail, so I might just choose to draw out of this one. Nicely played. I think it might be a last ball rolling on in the next game. Last ball rolling might get right in front of the cue ball, and we'll get to your hill.
Huh. Yeah, you never know. I think he's going 3 rails on this one. He's going for the easiest option. He hasn't overrun it this time, so he's in really good shape here. Just pull this back a little bit. Unless something crazy happens, he will have another break to win the match.
Sanjin getting to the hill first here. And as you mentioned, shot to close out the match. Breaking in rack number 20.
It's just a joy to watch, Eric. It's, you know, sometimes even as commentators we just have to sit back and enjoy, just like everybody else watching. It's so nice to see. This is what you call top class players playing at the highest level. Of course the breaks are working, but this just goes to show how well and talented these players actually are. Incredible statistics for this match. Probably up there with one of the best matches I've ever seen in terms of break and runs in the Eurotour.
Me too. In any match I've ever watched. 15 of 19 break-in runs, Graham. Staggering.
The question is, can he finish in style? Let's see.
Is it going to be legal? Just got there with the 3. He's on the 2. 7 and 8 are tied.
Yeah, a little bit of problem on this one. Not so straightforward. Does have a shot on the 2. And that 7 and 8 is makeable in terms of a combo if he does have to get that far, but this 2 is makeable. And with the 4 being over the corner, things could happen. He could try to open them up if he wanted to.
Yeah, big pressure here. I mean, the ideal, you're right, would be to open them. Just wondering if he wants to think about the pocketing more than the position. Tried to go into them. Could have had another chance to go into them here, but I believe he has too much angle. The combo's makeable, but not the kind of shot you want to be shooting under pressure. He's considering getting below the 5, and in that case, you could draw up the rail and try to disturb them. Yeah, he's considering it. I mean, this is ambitious. No, he's just going to go for the angle on the 6. Because if he did try to move the 7 and 8 here and miss the breakout altogether, he'd be too far down table.
Yeah, he might just see what the 6 brings him. He might end up having to play the combo and just take what the table gives him. It's very makeable.
He's on a good angle for it. You actually want to be kind of attacking it from the same angle the 6 is on. You can kind of see the contact point on the 8 a little better. Well, look at this. We never even considered trying to get below it. He's underhit it.
I wonder if he was playing for the bank there, Eric, maybe. Not sure.
Maybe. And I think there's actually, there was room below it to play it in the bottom left, but he just underdrew it. Still does have the bank if he wants. He's kind of looking at the combo angle. I think that's pretty aggressive. Might be just trying to lay the 7 on the other side of the 8.
How's the pace?
Good shot. He's there.
For a big jump shot coming here. Yeah. I think he nails this. That's my prediction. I think he nails it.
He's been
Lands on the
playing well. Gut check time.
Yeah, this is the match right here.
Close, but a little out. Is he going to leave it over the side? It's a thin one, but it goes. Following angles playing into the corner, so he's going to have to manipulate it with draw a bit. But he'll be happy to be coming back to the table with this.
Yeah, good option to play the safety shot in the end. Not push the boat out. Of course, that jump shot was makeable, but it was very, very tough. It's all about pace on this one. Doesn't want to be on the rail, so if he can try and judge the up and down. Let's see how he can. He's going to go 2 rails. This could be okay. Just want to catch the point. Ooh.
Whoa.
Bit of drama.
Two options here. He can just stay up the left side of the table, or he can come all the way past the 9 and then back above it onto the right side of the table. Gonna have enough speed. Not ideal, but not bad from where he was. And this 9 for the match. And what a high level match it's been.
Incredible. Yeah, it's been fantastic by both players. Shame that there has to be a loser in these kind of matches, but what a match.
There it is. Pelivanovic with the final 9. Advancing to the final 16 on the winner's side. It's going to be the last match of the round, or last match of the day for today. But tomorrow you're going to have the final 16 of the men, women's play. You get all the way down to the semifinals tomorrow. What a match we had here, Graham. I mean, my final count was 15 of 20 break-in runs. Just an awesome amount of offensive pool on display.
Yeah, fantastic match. Absolutely brilliant to watch. And yes, we'll be back tomorrow. That's it from Eric and myself, Graham. Thanks very much for joining us. And we will be back tomorrow for some more exciting pool. Thanks again, and bye for now.
Yeah, the 2 ball was important. Then it was your break after that.
No, it was 3-2 in my second break. I had a gap.
No, you remember when I had the legal break? That 2 was important.
Yeah.